So every night when I sit down to crack a beer and to look at your PAM account, and I think you know what I'm looking for. Rogue waves. That's right. If I should see one, I stomp it out with my capture grid. I finally reached the ticket limit on this broker. So this morning I put in 8 hours for a swing trade here. And I think I've got about, I'm going to say 300 pending or 200. I'm in some stuff already. So it's counting the open tickets too. Nothing ready to cash out. I got some scalps in here. So what I did was I just kind of went rogue wave against the rogue wave. Here I'm buying if we plunge today. This is pretty quiet. So I've been putting in tickets all morning. I'm looking for a plunge here. So I just put a big, I'm hoping to get about $2,000 of margin rocking. That's my goal. Here it's back and forth, up and down. Here, retest came lower. And this is part of the rogue wave theory. We could probably retest, so I put pendings down here for the retest. Never enough. And I can't put any more tickets in, so I finally reached the limit of this account. Thank you, Jesus. So let's take a pause here and wait for the retracements and the swingage. So I'm just kind of like not paying attention to the account, and I did not put in the dailies or the 12-hour orders, so I had to keep, and I don't have very broad-based. If I put in the weeklies, they would be 50 pips apart. So if I start off the week with the weekly grids, and just, oh yeah, I'm going to buy 50 pips deep, yeah, of course. Then come in with the 4-hour scripts that are looking to capture a momentary lapse of reason into unfair value. Then, this is all limit trading though. It's very difficult in a way because I could have sat here and babysit the 5-minute chart. There's a golden 5-minute trend continuation trade here where it just keeps tanking, and this is the only bullish candle in 5 minutes. This thing just starts to slide down, and there's not one place to sell this. If your only criteria is a counter trend move like this, or 10 minutes up, and then one last capitulation, buy limits, scalp. Now the scalping game. Now we got more dry powder down here. All my take profits, what I did was I put in super greedy tickets down here at the bottom, so I've been hand placing 8-hour scripts in here as the market's dicking around and all this wonderful noise. And here are the failure to make it to here, but if you bought here and cashed out here, and you bought all the way down in and cashed out, that's the trick. There's a trick to this, because some of these moves are so momentary, it's gone. It's gone. 15-minute chart, I don't even think there's a place to get in. We drift up, we trap here. We start trapping on these wicks at the 60-yard line. It comes screaming down 80 pips, 60 pips, that's 60 pips. Looks like 80 edge to edge. Okay, coming into more limits now. So here's where I want to get about $2,000 of margin going. And I'll pay $500 for the trade, for the entry. Everything's sitting at fragile new lows right now. I got limits sitting at new lows on almost every pair right now. If this keeps going lower, I'm buying. This is the meltdown of the Australian dollar. And I'm buying New Zealand, the same story, different day. And until something expires, which I think everything in here is 8 hours. It could be some 2 hours in here. It's set it and forget it. There's nothing I can do about this trade, and there's nothing I'd want to do about this trade because it's just not that kind of trading. I'm not trading at the market, which means I'm doing a trade plan, and I could have done the same trade plan for these deep tickets. I could have had those in on the weekly, but they'd have to be 50 pips apart on the weekly. The orders are going to last all week because you just... it's you may never make it down there, and you don't want to lock up a bunch of tickets in orders that are 300 pips deep. Maybe 100, 200 pips deep, 2 tickets to Paradise on Sunday night across 8 currency pairs, and you've got these orders that are just kind of like, well, they're hopefully in some fantabulous optimal entry zone. I'd say zone just because I think it's really got to be a zone. And the soft stop as opposed to a hard stop, I just think it's just easier. So you can post, you can post open positions, and people, look at, like I say, take a look at what's his name from PAX Forex, Hilton. There's a guy who's trading like psycho size for the scalp. But yeah, so we're just sitting here at 4,800 looking for the U.S. markets to open, looking for severe plungage on New Zealand to plunge and Australia to plunge, but I don't feel like selling into that. I just don't feel like... Besides, I'd have to have sell limits that are already short right now that were filled. So I'm either holding a short, and this is another thing that people talk about patience. Okay, so if you can wait through a trade without touching it to see if it works out, as opposed to intervening and trying to save it or trying to do whatever you think you can improve on it. So we're coming off the floor here. We're at we're just down $150 now. Nothing to write home about, but yeah, we're surviving. We're also not blowing up the account. So I'm not really... I don't trade 6 currencies like this. That's another challenge, is that it's kind of like whack-a-mole. I mean, you go from one currency pair to the other, and you're like, oh, that thing is coming back. Is going to come all the way down in here. So I'm trying to catch a falling knife on, whatever. Most of this is buy limits because I could just see I guess I want to buy and sell on the bounce. If I would have sold it, it would have had to been the Canadian that never filled, and that was... I'm looking forward to fill today. Now, this is another thing I've donated quite a bit of tickets to, is the Canadian spike up party that I think's coming, and hopefully it'll be today. And it's just ripping up there into this rooftop that goes way back to here. And if the market can pop up into that, fill it, come ripping back down. Okay, now we're taking some heat. We're taking on more margin. I want to get to $2,000 margin and be at $4,000 in the account. So this is going to be crazy. This rooftop that goes back to fucking last year. Wow. So, plus all the channel traders are going to be saying that we're at the top of the channel. We're certainly stretched out into the a no man's land. I don't think we've quite hit that channel yet, but I guess if you're going to go for this channel, then you've already hit it. You know, and of course, if you're Andrews Pitchfork, this is the middle pivot where you have the top. It keeps coming back to this pivot. You have a double bottom in time on the weekly, and this is like the centerpiece. But of course, you have a whole envelope here. You know, at this angle, here's your close, and then you have this. If you keep copying these over, but you don't always make it to the. There's plenty of failed attempts. But it is cutting up there, and it will be a zigzag route. It's not going to move in a straight line. So I'm looking to sell into that. Maybe I have to pluck some tickets off that. Now I'm down 300. I'm still buying this thing as it tanks. This is ready to go through the floor and do some damage. Unfortunately, I won't be able to buy down here because I can't place any more tickets, and I'm not going to delete what I put in. So, yeah, this is just stuck. The British pound's not doing anything dramatic. Okay, now this is being trapped underneath. We got in this whole phase and survived a 20 pip pounding here because I put 30 pip stops on the swing trade. I think I'm actually long here with some crazy ass wide. Maybe I have a 50 pip stop. I don't know on these top tickets. Must be right at my edge. Maybe risking 80 pips on these actually. And what with that was based on buying this plunge. Right, and I didn't get out here. So that was the other option, is to exit at the scalp window. If you get in at this fresh lows, you know, you kind of know where your exit is. And for the scalp. Now, since I'm holding this for quite some time and trying to make this into a low frequency trading system that just involves putting in the limit orders in kind of a routine basis. I just can't get over that pound, how dead it is. But I have buy limits just the same on that in case we get a mild pullback somehow today. So I'm looking to buy this void. And I'm slightly long on that. Another thing is, I'm not going to change the take profits. I'm going to keep that the same and try to work around the scripts in here. Because you should try to be having a set it and forget it, you know, and not have to move the exits. Amazingly, the exits look beautiful, like you're getting out at the climax of this top into it, right? Like most of your, now you could drag your take profits up, but then you kind of ruin the scalp. And I've done that many a time where I got very greedy. I thought, well, I'll just take the scalp and turn it into a swing. I don't think you want to do that because now this is all long, so I know these are my take profits above me. And look at all this fucking nonsense. Now you can't tell me that with the right order placement that all these sweeps here into these voids aren't just the best entry. I think I got in there, or they have limits sitting there. I can't remember if I'm long from there. Okay, so we're only down $70. Okay, so we're holding into the opening of the U.S. markets with... I think I'm just going to let it go. Like I said, I can't put any more tickets in, which is a good thing. So this is your broker saving you Brokers really do want you to succeed because then they can make more money, you know, on commissions. Look at this New Zealand ready to just come into my trap. So I have various stops in here. If I turn on the stops and take profits, that's pretty crazy. So, yeah. Okay, we're going to let her rip. Just going to see what happens here. So I'm sitting with just under 1,000 of margin. And we've got 8 hours on these scripts, which means they'll be, if I don't add any more, they'll be deleting themselves around 2 p.m. About 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. And so that would be kind of it, and whatever is lingering. Of course, how far do you ride the take profit? If you see it's coming to the end of the day and it's only made it back to the floor of some void that it fell into, or it's outstretched into some, or you just want to go flat on the weekend. But I'll probably let this thing go because it's a swing account. I don't think I'll touch it unless I get into profits and I can drop, like cashes out of something, frees up some pendings when the morning opens. Because I did put some scalps in here, just trying to make 12 pips. I didn't go pure swing trader on this also. So I think having a good balanced diet of different kinds of orders is the key. That's the trick. You don't want to be on one leg in 15 standard lots or 100 standard lots of one instrument if you've only got 10 grand in the account. So you have to be, I don't know how these people are trading these giant positions, you know. But I guess they've got a $3 million account from all their subscribers, from all their disciples, I suppose. That's how that works. So somebody said they were just padding their accounts so they could trade ridiculously, I suppose. And that's what I'm doing here on this demonstration account. And of course, really casually doing it because it's a demo, but trying to, like I said, I wish the orders lasted a day because I really don't want to spend a lot of time with fake money proving a point. But I guess that's what you have to do. To prove it to yourself, to prove it to other people, to see the concept and the theory. Buy low, sell high. So in my case, I'm buying low and then I'm cashing out on these scripts. I'll be cashing out, except for that CAD. If it goes up, I'll make money on that. And that's what it's about. I mean, you really can't know how far into the void the price will fill into. So you have to make accommodations for the possibility that it could go lower than you think and it could go higher than you think. Or it could go sideways for longer than you have patience for. And that's all there is to it. So you have that issue. And to not watch it happen, which is I've been doing on this account primarily, I've been watching the FX Blue from the tablet, but I don't have this. And it doesn't do very well. These drag and drops don't do well on a tablet because I have a hard time getting any precision drops. Whereas on the tablet, I'm running a double click where it just double clicks and you throw in 80 pips deep for 8 hours. It puts in one ticket. And I can just layer up all day long. I can build places. Tickets will stack up down there on the tablet. But this is a whole different thing. You know, you got big screen, precision mouse. And it's like domino theory. You know, you just lay this shit in, walk away. You know, it's kind of like you don't know. You don't care. And it's funny to watch the equity pivot here. Just haven't taken on any new tickets, so nothing has come back. And I put orders that are like 5 pips away from current price. I've been placing 8-hour orders on a lot of these currencies, 10 pips away from current price. So I'm surprised I haven't gotten a fill on anything here. And looking at the daily chart, you just think the market's closed. This is a classic sell-off pattern. We've all seen this. We've all seen this pattern where the market's down the previous day, and then it could go up. It could literally turn on a dime and go up. It's amazing. It's incredible. It's just like a switch. There's no fucking look how quiet this move is. Quiet, then hard down, hard up, hard down, slightly up, hard down, slightly up maybe. These slightly moves. Wow. Now, if a robot is aware of this, or you're aware of a small move, it's time to think about trend continuation. Now here, it's difficult to say that because the velocity of this move, now you have a trend continuation for that. Is that your idea of a trend on the daily? Okay. I guarantee you the guy that sold on limits here is saying, oh yeah, start cashing me out when we come back into here. Then I'll do this rinse and repeat, sell limits in a 20 pip grid. Start cashing out at the breakout point and maybe hold it through to here. It's so obvious. But who's the guy doing that trade? Who's the guy holding it when he buys this stop hunt? They clear this out. He loads up. He holds it. Does he cash out at this top? Take the whole thing. Slight pullback. Here comes the trend traders. Push it through. Now it's like, wow. So it takes the same balls to sell into that as it does to buy into this. But I'd say this is the key. To buy more here. You could buy a little bit here. Because even that became a winner. If that's your target. And I put in insane targets on this just now. So I'm going to be putting some 150 pip targets in here. Because those are 100 to 150 pips because I never had those in here. And if it has a 50 pip stop, that's a great logical swing trade. But if it has a 20 pip stop, that's amazing. So I have some here that I did drop earlier that are like 18 to make 56 pips. Now that's damn good. And I don't know. Oh, see, something must have deleted. So I can put some more tickets in now. Now I can load up more on this yen. Oh, it's not. So I used what I can use. So I'll just wait, come back to this thing.